up, YouTube? Before I start this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and go ahead and share the video. I'll wait. You can go ahead. Thank you. And yes, I stand up for these speed bumps. I find it's a lot easier to stand up on the bike when you have floorboards than when you have pegs. See? That was cool. And you don't even feel them. The suspension on this bike is fantastic. And why is my trip meter not reading what I needed to read? I like to keep it in the gear indicator. There we go. Gear indicator and RPM. That's where I like it. So I've been thinking a lot about ways that motorcycling has changed my life. And it really has. It's life-changing. So, like, before I got into bikes, I was in dire need of a hobby. Like, not dire need, like, I just wanted something extra to do, something that I felt good about, and, you know, something that I enjoyed doing, because I wasn't really enjoying my work, and, you know, I just needed something else. You know, I thought about a bunch of different hobbies. Photography was one of them. I thought about getting back into coaching soccer, which I would love to do, but it just didn't happen. What else? I thought about a few other things. Finding neutral on this bike is damn near impossible. See, come on. Alright, there we go. Alright, so you'll notice I moved the speakers down. If I can get them to work ever, then I'll leave them there. If not, they're just coming off completely. And I got a new angle here on the second GoPro. Hopefully it's good. Here we go. So yeah, I've been thinking about how motorcycling changed my life, and you know, the truth is, come to find out, motorcycling is, and you know, the bike life, it's way more than just a simple hobby. It's a passion, and it really does change your life completely. It's not just something you do, it becomes part of you. It becomes part of your identity, part of your persona. At least for me. And for the people that I know, the friends that I've made. So, I want to go over 8 ways in which motorcycling changes lives. Because these pieces of these machines be out here, you know, changing lives for the better and shit. So, yeah, because they gangsta like that. At least mine's gangsta, my little slut. Yes, that is what I named her. Little slut. Alright, so way number 1 is gonna be money and spending habits. Or spending habits. You are gonna have a lot less of it, a lot less money. It's not only are you spending whatever money it cost you to get the bike, and whether you financed it or just bought it outright, you know, you're gonna spend some money on the bike. Then you're constantly going to be buying gear, and gear ain't cheap. You know, a good jacket is $200, $300, $400. A good helmet is $300, $400, $500. This mother. Anyway, yeah, you're going to be buying gear. Then you're going to want to do mods to the bike. You're going to need parts, maintenance, oil changes, on and on and on, and it doesn't stop, but you constantly feel like you're spending all this money on motorcycle parts. Not to mention you go out a lot more. We'll get to that. you go out a lot more, and you know, if you're on a budget and you want to get a motorcycle, you're definitely gonna have to look into ways of cutting your spending habits, or you know, cutting back in some areas in order to be able to afford this habit. Really, this passion, like I said, this goes way beyond a habit or a hobby. This really does change your life, at least for me, for the better. Suddenly, after I complained about it on video, finding neutral is a lot easier. Alright, the second way motorcycling changes your life. I mean, you can call this a lot of different things, energy levels, or I call it your disposition. Your disposition completely changes. You are suddenly willing and able to go anywhere at any time as long as you get to go on your motorcycle. You know, at least for me, I was always the type of guy, I'd get home from work and I'd do a couple things around the house. I'd keep working on my own computer. Maybe I'd go to my girlfriend's house. I would play with my daughter and things like that, but I would essentially stay home. Now that my daughter's in Texas and I have a motorcycle, I'm willing and ready to be able to go out anytime to any place. The other day I was sitting there in my pajamas watching football Monday night, and out of nowhere Manny called up and said he bought a new bike. So I, at 10:30 at night, got dressed and met him in the parking lot just to see the new bike. You know, even before, even when I would go out, I would try to stay, you know, within Miami, within 10-15 miles of my house. Now I'm driving to Coral Springs, I'm driving to Delray Beach, I'm driving down to Cutler Bay. I'm driving 30, 40, 50 miles away from my house on a weeknight just because I'm on the bike and just because I have motorcycle friends. So suddenly you're willing and able to go out a whole lot more. And yeah, so it completely changes your disposition, your willingness to go and do things. And I think that's a good thing. I saw a meme the other day that said something to the effect of, and I agree with it, like, you know, you buy a motorcycle, it's to put miles on it. It said something to the effect of not driving your motorcycle to avoid putting miles on it to keep the value up. It's like not having sex with your wife so she can be in better shape for the next guy. It makes absolutely no sense. Come on, light. Yeah, so right now I'm heading over to the Bike Nation bike night. I'm gonna spend a little time with those guys, and then I'm actually not gonna be there for bike night. I'm heading up with Marcos to and the local brothers to a Harley event in Hollywood Beach. See what I mean? I'm going all the way to Hollywood Beach on a weekend, and I love it. That did not used to be me. The third way in which motorcycling changes your life is your friendships. You are going to find out that you are going to make friends a lot easier, a whole lot quicker. You know, it's almost going to be effortless. You know, people with motorcycles, it's like we immediately become friends just because we can bond over having a motorcycle. And it's something really cool, I think. I've said it before, usually somebody that I would see, you know, whatever, cashier at a gas station, whatever, you know, you're gonna not socialize with that person at all, but you find out that person's got a motorcycle, all of a sudden you guys are gonna start talking about motorcycles and where you ride, and you know what kind of bike it is, and groups that you ride with. You might even link up on a bike night or go on a ride together out of nowhere. So it is definitely going to change your friendships, not just how you make friends, but why you make friends, and etc, etc, etc. Alright, we'll continue later. Goddamn, this bike is heavy. Alright, stopped in a wing house, had some grub-a-dub-dub. Now headed to Baru to link up with Marcos, also known as Breakout Rides. So I was talking about ways that motorcycling changes lives, and like I said, it really fucking does. It absolutely changed my life. I know it absolutely changed my ex-girlfriend's life, and every motorcycle friend I have, it's completely changed their lives. So we've gone over money, or it changes your spending habits. It changes your friendships. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but even your current friends, your friends from before, they'll see you differently. You know, it could be in a good or a bad way, but their opinion of you will change. You know, this car behind me needs to pull up to the sensor. Let's see. We went over friendships, we went over money, and we went over, I forget what the third one was. Disposition. Your disposition changes. You're willing and ready and able to do a whole lot more things. So number 4 is your driving habits. So when you become a car driving. When you become a motorcyclist, you're suddenly a much better car driver. Because obviously, when you're in a motorcycle, you're hyper aware and you're looking at bad drivers. You're constantly paying attention. Yo, seriously, there you go. Come up. See what happens when you come up? Alright, so your driving habits are going to completely change while you're in a car. You're going to drive a lot safer, and those habits you pick up of being hyper aware on a motorcycle transfer over to your car. At least I've noticed that. I'm a much better car driver now, much safer, and I'm continuously looking out for bikes now. You know, they always have those campaigns like look twice, save a life, all that. But when you become a motorcyclist, you really take that stuff to heart, because if you're not careful when you're on a motorcycle, if you're not hyperactive and aware, you're gonna die. Because people's bad driving, my nose is really itchy. People's bad driving may be what gets you into that accident. Number 5 is it's gonna be your relationships. And I don't just mean romantic relationships, I mean with everybody, with your family, with your kids, I already mentioned with your current friends, with your significant others, definitely. Your relationships are going to change. They're going to see you differently. If you're lucky enough to have a girlfriend or a significant other, as I did, who embraced the culture and really got into it alongside you, then it will make that relationship a lot stronger. I know in the case of me and my ex-girlfriend, for a while it lasted, it made the relationship better. You know, and once we broke up, it really helped. I think on her case too, but it helped both of us move on, because we were doing motorcycle things. We were doing something new and exciting, and you know, whatever. But also your relationships with your parents are going to change. They're going to see you a bit differently. Your mom's going to continuously, you know, your mom's going to call you a lot more. Because she wants you to be safe, obviously. So also, you know, everybody else, your sisters and everybody, your nieces, at least for me, they're gonna think you're the coolest thing on earth. But point being, your relationships will change. Even with yourself, you're gonna see yourself in a different light when you become a biker of any kind, whether it's sport or cruising or touring or adventure biking or dirt biking or whatever. You're gonna see yourself differently. Next is gonna be your next is gonna be your free time. You know, before where you may have had free time to, you know, watch Netflix or do whatever. Even just hang out. Your free time's gone. Why? Because you're continuously, like, there's only 3 things that I do during my free time. I ride and go out with my friends. I work out. And if I'm not doing either one of those, I'm either working, I'm either working on the bike or cleaning the bike or doing something related to the bike. So when I'm not working, that's what I'm doing. I'm working out, or I'm on the bike, or I'm working on the bike. And that's all I really want to do. I want to spend all of my free time doing that, or the vlog channel, of course. I count that as working on the bike because it's bike related. So yeah, get ready to, you know, if there are certain things you like to do on your free time, you may kiss goodbye to one or a few or a lot of them or all of them, because you're gonna have a new interest. And it's not just a hobby, it's a passion. It really becomes part of who you are. Not to be repetitive, but it does change your life, I think, for the better. So that's what, that's 5, 6, I don't even know. Yeah, your free time completely either disappears or changes. I don't know what number I'm on. Let's check the cheat sheet. Yes, I have a cheat sheet, but I need to be in damn neutral.
So how have motorcycles changed your life? We already went over this, damn it!
Thank you.